Trump exposed how Bush family helped bin Laden's escape after 9/11. Bombshell. While air traffic was shut down across the United States for 2 days, the president allowed the bin Ladens to be flown out of the country to safety on more than 15 flights. Now, I've covered this from the day it happened. It was in the Miami Herald and other papers. They would actually have people get on TV back in 2001, 2002, 2003, and they would say that I was a liar and this was a conspiracy theory, hoping you wouldn't go look up NBC News, ABC News, CBS News, Fox News, the Miami newspapers. I mean, it was in 5 or 6 big papers. McClatchy covered it out of Florida. It was on all the TV stations because people were there protesting as they were getting on their jets. This was an evacuation of the bin Ladens, who the Bushes were having dinner with the morning or breakfast with at the Arms Summit at their table at the Carlyle Group on the morning of 9/11. And they had dinner with them 2 days before. That's why I conflate those two. And we're talking about the folks directly involved in all this. The bin Ladens were given multi-billion-dollar U.S. contracts in the Middle East to build military bases and put in air conditioning the day after 9/11. So the point is that Trump is planning to use 9/11 truth on Jebby. And I told you that, and I've told you that before Trump did it, and I've told you that after Trump did it, because I've been told by little birdies that this is the case. And let me tell you something. I went from really liking Trump to really knowing he's for real last night in my gut. Not perfect, a loose cannon in some respects, but actually isn't actively evil against this country, which is a big difference from Jeb Bush and Hillary, who are true agents of evil. Whenever, in fact, I want to find this clip. It's in their whole exchange. Whenever Jeb Bush looks at him and says, "You will never be president." And he cuts out a little friendly boy. "Hey, kids, get in my white van. I got candy." "Oh, hi, I'm the friendly little old man." "Oh, hi." Oh, people hate that goofiness because they know it's fake. He cut out of that and he goes, "Listen." In fact, you probably just found the clip typing in, Jeb Bush tells Trump he will never be president. He goes, "You will never be president." And that's because they own the fraudulent delegates, and his people are bragging. "We don't care if we have 1% of the vote. He will get the nomination in the broker convention." They are bragging about this. That's the elitism of these people. Let's go ahead and go to the exchange, though, between the two where they bring up the fact that Trump said he'd go after terrorist families. Here it is.
Jacob from Georgia Tech. Recently, Donald Trump mentioned that we must kill the families of ISIS members. However, this violates the principle of distinction between civilians and combatants in international law. So my question is, how would intentionally killing innocent civilians set us apart from ISIS?
We have to be much tougher. We have to be much stronger than we've been. We have people that know what's going on. You take a look at just the attack in California the other day. There were numerous people, including the mother. When you had the World Trade Center go, people were put into planes that were friends, family, girlfriends, and they were put into planes and they were sent back, for the most part, to Saudi Arabia. They went home and they wanted to watch their boyfriends on television. I would be very, very firm with families. And frankly, that will make people think, because they may not care much about their lives, but they do care, believe it or not, about their families' lives.
This is another example of the lack of seriousness. Look, this is troubling because we're at war. They've declared war on us.
This is the guy who flew him out. He was part of it.
To destroy ISIS.
The actual culprit.
The idea that that is a solution to this is just crazy. It makes no sense to suggest this. Look, Donald Trump said that ISIS was not our fight just 2 months ago. He said that Hillary Clinton would be a great negotiator with Iran. And he gets his foreign policy experience from the shows. That is not a serious kind of candidate. We need someone that thinks this through, that can lead our country to safety and security.
Mr. Trump. We need toughness. Honestly, I think Jeb is a very nice person. He's a very nice person, but we need tough people. We need toughness. We need intelligence, and we need tough. Jeb said when they come across the southern border, they come as an act of love.
But Bushes are master criminals. That is a hardcore killer right there, folks.
We need
that Trump's going up against.
We need strength.
Hardcore.
We're not respected as a nation anymore. We don't have that level of respect that we need. And if we don't get it
Ted
back,
Bundy eyes, boy.
we're just going to go weaker, and just disintegrate. We can't allow that to happen.
Bush, good
we
God.
Need strength.
I'm leaving the country to get elected. I really will. I think I may.
And he talks about
I think that's.
I
just can't handle it.
And I was witness to it, and so was everyone else. And I was standing there. They come across as an act of love. He's saying the same thing right now with radical Islam.
They have basically the entire Nazi wealth that was put into South America.
Won't work.
They run the Nazi wealth. I just cannot believe it.
Donald, you're not going to be able to insult your way to the presidency. That's not going to happen.
And I do have the strength. I can't get rid of these people.
Leadership is not about attacking people and disparaging people. Leadership is about creating a serious strategy to deal with the threat of our time. And I laid out that strategy before the attacks in Paris and before the attacks in San Bernardino. We need to increase our military spending. We need to deal with a no-fly zone in Syria, a safe zone. We need to focus on building a military that is second to none so that we can destroy Islamic terrorism.
With Jeb's attitude, we will never be great again. That I can tell you. We will never be
He's
great.
a globalist. Now, I like how Trump has moderated his statement of go after their families. Kill them. It is true that that is the one tactic proven to work on al-Qaeda is they say, we got your 10-year-old son and we're going to start torturing him if you don't give us all the info. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and others spilt their guts at that point and confessed to bombing buildings that were built after they were in prison. They waterboarded him hundreds of times. What was it 200 plus? Going from memory? They said, we're going to torture your son now. We're going to do it and we're going to videotape it. He said, okay, I'll just say whatever you want. That's the problem, though. You get fake confessions with that. And if you don't fund the terrorists to begin with, you don't have to then go fight them later. But see, that's your excuse to get into Afghanistan and control the trillions in the last decade of opium. It went from 6% of world production to 93% within 2 years. Oh, we really liberated Afghanistan, folks. Totally staged. But see, Trump is in a learning process here. It is true, though, if you prosecute the families who obviously know. The dad of this guy said my son had pledged allegiance to ISIS. Let me tell you, if my son pledged allegiance to ISIS, hypothetically, and I couldn't stop it, and he was really saying that, I would have to report him because I don't want him getting killed in something. Of course, he wouldn't. I'd probably do something else. I'm not going to say it. But the point is that, you know people are building pipe bombs. You know they're about to pull a jihad, and the whole family's coming around the house, and you don't do anything about it? That's called aiding and abetting is what that's called. And I totally agree. You got to prosecute people's families if the evidence shows they knew about it so people think twice. Because believe me, if they knew mommy and daddy were going to get locked up for life sentences for aiding and abetting an act of terrorism and murder and mayhem, they won't do it 99% of the time. But these people love to think of themselves as heroes. They don't like their lives. They're mad at the good-looking women at the office. Mad she's got to wear the headdress at a subconscious level, but can't break her conditioning. She's all crazed because, I mean, she's not the prettiest lady around. I've seen some beautiful Arabic women, but this lady ain't it. She looks like a 60-year-old, fat Arabic man or something. I mean, I'm sorry. She's ugly. She looks like the Loch Ness Monster. She wants to go kill all the hot chicks at work. That's what happened. And now I got to get my guns up because some freaks you brought in this country want to go around shooting people? No, no, no. Go stay in your third world hellhole. Be chained up, get beat up, get raped all day. You love it. Gloria Steinem, go move over there with all these other people. I'll be honest with you. The women in my family are all spoiled rotten, and I love it. But they love me. But I tell you, there's a lot of spoiled, rotten women in this country that think the liberals and the media and the CIA and the social engineers are your friends. They hate your stinking guts, women. They want you working 70 hours a week with no pension, no future, no kids, no husband. Pump full of sterilants and thinking you're free. And the very same scum selling you this whole agenda, Miss Magazine, run by the CIA, declassified, did it to make sure you were all alone. They're the same ones that want to put you under this type of garbage and defend women not be able to drive cars and wearing hoods over their heads. I'm sorry, Richard, you just popped in my ear. Excuse me. Yeah, oh, yes, well, thank you. He has the, and back, just pop on air whenever you want, bro. Most of the time, if you got a clip for folks, you can just come on air. Let me ask you, Richard, last night covering the debate, working on the debate, being up here, putting in great 14 hours yesterday, the whole crew here at InfoWars News Center. What did you think? Because this is unscripted. I don't know what you think of the debates. What did you think of the debates? And we have the clip of Jeb saying, "You will never be president." That was a direct threat where he shows the real Bush look of crazed, hardcore, original gangsters. You talk about James Bond villain, Superman villains, baby, they're it. That whole milquetoast, they like to eat hamburgers and play golf and watch football games and eat their boogers on TV. You know, most of them get caught doing that. These people are absolute total evil. They are the Democrats' answer to the Republican Party. They are Rockefeller Republicans, Democrats in the 60s that couldn't take over, and so they infiltrated the Republican Party. And John Boehner and all the rest of them are enemies of this country. And, of course, Boehner's gone now, but I bring that up because these are the scum. This is why we can't get change. This is why we can't cut taxes. This is why we can't turn our coal power plants back on. I obsess on that, folks, because our energy prices have basically doubled for electricity the last 7 years. That has crippled us. No one will build factories here because you cannot compete with India and China and Mexico and 160 plus other countries. And I'm not against India and China and Mexico, but you know what? We're going to have power plants too. We're going to have cheap energy. We're going to have a level playing field when we take this country back. Do you understand that? Get it through your heads. You call me a terrorist, a right-winger, because I don't want to screw our country over? I'm a patriot. I'm a libertarian. I'm a classical liberal. You people are part of a fruitcake cult. Let me settle down for a minute. Richard, I'm sorry. Go ahead and give us your take on the debate.
I would say Trump had a pretty strong showing, but for me, Rand Paul really won the night. I like how he referenced the Bill of Rights birthday. I like how he referenced the Constitution multiple times. And Trump's understanding of the internet seems lacking, saying that he's going to shut down particular parts. That just doesn't sit very well with me.
Well, I tend to agree with you, but I think it's refreshing that Trump is out of control and obviously not controlled by anybody. I think him coming on the show illustrates that further. Would you rather have a wild man who at least wants us to be successful, or would you become a dangerous man on a white horse, or would you rather have a Medusa on a green pus-filled horse, or would you rather have a demonic, vampiric, socialist, communist goblin like Bernie Sanders hopping around like an evil golem? Or would you rather have Jeb Bush, a psycho ghoul, the head of the Bush crime family, the one that's anointed, the one that's loved by Daddy Bush and the whole stinking Yale takeover army? I mean, you know, what do you do, Richard?
That's quite a spread there. I think I'd like somebody who is strong, of course, is bold, wants to change things, definitely not Democratic. But somebody who is going to do something in my interests, because that's what I'm voting for.
Somebody that is a nationalist and thinks about policies that will help the country, which we could easily do.
Big
Absolutely.
changes need to happen.
When we come back, I want to talk to CJ. I want to talk to anybody else in there that has comments. Nico, whoever. I just want to talk to the crew. I want to talk to the listeners as well. But right now, let's start getting to some more of these clips. Here is a clip where we see the real face of little Jebby. I mean, these people are a pack of bank swindlers, SNL scammers, just like John McCain and the Keating Five. I mean, these are real mafia dons. These are hardcore folks. The Bush family under Prescott Bush, Senator Bush, literally was the head lawyer at Brown Brother Harriman, managing Nazi assets in North America, Central America, South America, and German shipping companies, and helped cover up worldwide German Nazi front companies during and after World War II. And then they managed that money and doled it out to Central and South American Nazis. You know why they have 200,000-acre ranches in South America, multiple ones with military bases and helicopter pads? See, in James Bond movies, where do they live? This is it, folks. These are the real deal. Okay, let's go ahead and go out to break with Jeb Bush going crazy. Here it is.
This is a tough business to run for president.
I know you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is
real tough.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So far I'm doing better. You know, you started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end.
That's good. That's another time he said it. It's before that where he goes, you will never be president. And I mean, because he's got the delegates. He's going to swindle everything like he's been doing since 1938. By the way, the whole Nazi thing was so big it could bring down the whole government. That's why they gave him a pass. They let him off. It was so big. It was too big to fail. Stay with us. We'll be right back. I'm Alex Jones.
We spent over a year trying to put together something for somebody, for everybody, especially working with Alex and the team over here at InfoWars Life, to create a product that would focus on helping people clean environmental chemicals and toxins from their body and how to detox those from the system. We have a lot of good products over here, from the X2, all of the liver cleanse products, the Oxy powder, the Winter Sun. I mean, you name it. Down the line, everything is great. Today, though, I'm really excited because this is something that you guys have the exclusive for, which is a product called Deep Cleanse. And why I'm so excited about it is it's a unique formula, almost like the iodine crystals. We have two unique products that nobody in the world has. One of the most amazing ingredients in the world, and it's called Shilajit, and it's actually known as blood of the mountain or rock sweat because thousands of years ago, as a matter of fact, this ingredient was only given to the elite of the elite. Thousands of years ago, up in the Himalayan mountains and in Tibet.
And we wanted to put this in stuff for a couple years, but we couldn't get an organic form.
Right. I mean,
so let's explain. I mean, this stuff's so good, we couldn't put it out for years.
Right. So I had to actually, it's kind of like the iodine crystals, finding a source deep in the earth that we could get the cleanest source available. But in Tibet and in Nepal and in the Himalayan mountains, thousands of years ago, they watched these monkeys. And during the summer months, the monkeys would go up into the mountains.
Now you're being racist against monkeys.
And they would pick this black substance from the mountains. And so in Russia, they actually, it grows in Russia in the mountains and in the Himalayas and only in the summer. And Shilajit is actually the decomposition of up to 7,000 different medicinal herbs. So it decomposes, all these different herbs decompose in the Himalayan mountains and the volcanic soil up there. And what happens in the summertime...
So it's almost like an oil from...
Yes, it's high in fulvic acid, it's high in humic acid.
Because they're always claiming oil is really from decomposed animals and plants. There is some oil that is based from fossils, but most of it's really abiotic. But so this is a true fossil source? I mean, explain it to me.
It is, it's really the decomposition, like I said, of over 7,000 different medicinal herbs and plants. And with the rocks and the pressure deep in the mountains, it freezes and during the summertime and the pressures build it up.
It oozes out.
It oozes out. So it literally oozes out of the mountain.
It's like rock sap.
It's like rock sap. It's black, and it's highly nutritious. Even in the 1980s, when the Olympic athletes in Russia were accused of being on steroids, they found out that they were actually been given Shilajit because it works as an anabolic as well, and it builds muscles. It's a big dose in there. The second big main ingredient in there is a volcanic zeolite concentrate. And what this formula is designed to do, the Shilajit and the zeolites have a real strong negative charge. All the metals and chemicals and PCBs and VOCs have positive charges. So these go in, they grab it, and then they safely eliminate it through the body so you can become healthy. I mean, this is an amazing formula. I wish I actually had it, but because this was an exclusive InfoWars Life product, you're the only one in the world that has this formula now. And you know, there is going to be a limited supply available when you sell out because you can only harvest this once a year.
How do people take it? How is it recommended that this be done? Just a daily dose?
Yeah, daily dose. The instructions are on the label. You know, of course, I kind of modify it for each individual. It depends on what your lifestyle is. I mean, honestly, the best thing to do is for you to avoid all these chemicals and toxins in your environment and try to identify them and start slowly reducing them. But personally, I'm going to probably take it every day, every other day, and I'll probably go with about a dropper full to maybe 2 dropper fulls. I don't expose myself to any chemicals, but
it's out there in the air. It's in everything. Well, I mean, I tell you what I do. I've never been a supplement person. I keep it now on the kitchen table with a Lazy Susan, and when I just make myself take it all every day, I feel so much better. InfoWarsLife.com. Please also support our local AM and FM affiliates, support their local sponsors or become a sponsor, and spread the word. Because these aren't just great products. This is how we fund this independent operation. We're not taxpayer funded like MSNBC or NPR, and neither is your local station. So support them, folks. This is a war. A clean, toxic-free body is the foundation of true health. Introducing Deep Cleanse by InfoWarsLife.com, a scientifically formulated blend of nanocolloidal zeolites and organic ingredients that aid the body in cleansing chemicals and toxic metals. We use only the highest quality organic herbs backed by serious research, and we still bring it to you at the best price out there. If you wish to find Deep Cleanse and experience the all-in-one cleansing, visit InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.